How do you make leading lines dynamic in digital art? Imagine your artwork as a journey for the viewers. Leading lines are like the roads guiding them through your scene. But how do you make these roads feel alive and exciting? First, mix up the types of lines you use. Straight lines are steady, but diagonal lines add energy and movement. Curved lines bring a natural flow that feels smooth and inviting. Implied lines, like a character's gaze or a series of objects, subtly direct attention without actual lines. Using all these types makes your composition more lively. Next, focus on your main subject or focal point. Make sure your leading lines point directly to it. You can do this by increasing contrast or adding detail at that spot. Positioning your focal point slightly off-center can create a more interesting balance. When lines converge on your main point, the viewer's eye naturally follows, making your artwork more engaging. Creating depth is another way to make lines feel more dynamic. Include elements in the foreground, middle ground, and background. Overlapping shapes and varying sizes help create a sense of space. When your lines lead through these layers, it feels like the scene extends beyond the flat surface, pulling viewers into the story. Changing the angle of your lines can also boost their energy. For example, drawing lines from a low angle makes them seem more dramatic. Tilting your scene or using a high viewpoint can add a sense of tension or excitement. Combining leading lines with techniques like the rule of thirds or negative space adds balance and keeps the eye moving. Lighting and contrast play a big role too. Bright edges or highlights along your lines make them stand out. Shadows can guide the eye just as well by creating subtle pathways. Using contrast helps your leading lines pop and directs attention smoothly. Finally, add variation along your lines. Change the shapes, colors, or textures to keep things interesting. Grouping elements along the lines can form shapes and rhythms that keep the viewer's eye moving naturally. In practice, you might draw a winding river or a curved road that leads to your main character. Use beams of light or shadows to subtly guide the eye. Position objects so their gazes or movements align with your lines. Layer foreground objects to add depth and make the scene feel more real. Adjust colors along the lines to emphasize direction and movement. By combining these techniques thoughtfully, your leading lines become more than just guides. They tell a story and make your digital art feel alive. They draw viewers in and keep their eyes exploring every corner of your work.